big things after the day's fishing is going to be tonight. Because let me tell you, we're going to have tuna. We're going to have sushi, we're going to have tuna blackened, we're going to have tuna grilled, and we're going to Marlin Bill's. He's up top the hill from Nosada, Paradise Rentals. And this guy, they know how to cook tuna. So we've got all the fillets ready to go. They have it, 7:30 tonight. We're gonna be rocking and rolling. I mean, having some good tuna dinners, all of us. So you can see the spread that they put on the table. It's just beautiful. They do a fantastic job, and they do this all the time because everybody that comes into this area, they know that they can bring their catch to Marlin Bill's, and he will take good care of you. He will cook it your way, any way you want. And not just tuna, they can cook the snapper, they can cook a little bit of everything. So I can't hardly wait to sit on the table and hit that fish, and I'm gonna enjoy the living daylights out of it. Wasn't just catching it, now it's gonna be the getting a chance to eat it. So I hope you enjoy it with me. Sorry you're not here to eat it, but hey, at least you can see it. Well, we're here this morning in Costa Rica, in Nosada, and as you can see, this beautiful, beautiful surfing beach behind us. So Fishing Adventures Florida decided to come down here, and we're spending 3 days of filming. And I tell you, it's just, the fishing is fabulous, the beaches is really nice. And if you're a surfer, this is one of the top beaches in the area, and in the nation in some spots. They come over and go surf fishing. So we're here today just to show you around a little bit. And I hope you enjoy what you're gonna see. I mean, it's not very often that you've got good fishing and a surfing beach right next door. So let's take a look and let's see what's happening. All right, now here's where the fun starts. You better believe it. We're out in the water, we're getting ready to go fishing, and one of the things that we always tell our captain is we want to break the day up when we're out there. We don't want to just go sail fishing or whatever all day long. We like to do some bottom fishing while we're at it. So we kind of reversed it today. The way the weather was and the currents, we decided to go for bottom fishing first. And let me tell you, if you're used to grouper fishing and doing anything wherever you're at, when you're in Costa Rica, bottom fishing is totally different. I mean, totally different. We get over the shallow reefs, and usually they'll get like a bonita, cut a bonita in half, big strip, I mean a big piece. With a heavy weight, we get it down to the bottom and let the action begin. And let me tell you, you can see how I'm straining. We get into some big cubeta snappers when you do this. I mean, I'm talking about, you know, everybody's little dream. Everybody has a wish list of what they want to catch. And to me, it was always to get into some big cubeta snappers, not the regular ones, I mean the big ones. And here's one of them that we got lucky. We got a chance to get quite a few of them, but here's one of the ones that I personally caught. Sucker's about 50 pounds and will make one great dinner. The only problem is it was close season when we caught these fish, but as you can tell, they're just beautiful. The color on them, the fight, when you're catching them in 100 feet, 150 feet of water, believe me, they will wear you out. So it's good to have a first mate on board that can help you hold the fish. of the things that you have to do when you're out here fishing is you got to get your bait prepared ahead of time. And our captain and first mate, that's the first thing they do in the morning as the captain is running out to our fishing grounds. The first mate starts to rig up all the ballyhoos, get them ready, because you never know. Sometimes you might use 1 or 2 or 3, and some days you could use 10 or 15. As soon as we got out there, by golly, there we were. We got our first tuna, and Captain Allen, he's one of my clients that went down there with us. Let me tell you, all his muscles were really straining, because you got to remember, you're in 3,000, 4,000 feet of water, and when you get that tuna close to the boat after about 10, 15 minutes of fighting the fish, you're getting wore out, and when he sees the boat, the first thing he does, he goes straight down 100, 200 feet, and you got to start all over again. And it was funny because by the time we got through, Alan was saying how much his muscles were hurting in order to get that fish up to the surface. But the tuna over here, these were yellowfins. They're going in the 40, 50-pound range, and they're very, very tough. If you're used to catching just the little Jack Crevalles in the bay, or wherever you fish, or you think about this, I mean, they are strong. And when that water's so clean, when they get close to the boat and they see the bottom of the boat, they head straight down. Now you're pulling against dead weight and a fish that's pulling down on top of that. So it almost doubles the power of trying to get them to the boat. And you just don't do it in a few minutes. It can take you quite a while. And believe me, poor Alan was just about wore out after he got a hold of his fish. Now, normally on a good day, we can catch 8, 10, 12 tunas per boat, because we have 3 boats fishing every day. And we just have a ball. The water, the time of the year that we go, is calm 90% of the time, crystal clear, just beautiful. You can look down 80, 90 feet and see your fish down there. And as you can tell, he is not going to give up. Alan's got a fight on his hands, and it's going to take him quite a while to bring him up. But finally, we saw a little bit of the fish getting closer to the surface, and it's time for the first mate to try to gaff him and get him in the boat. But what happens is every time he sees the boat, there he goes, heads for the bottom again. It's like you got to start all over. You just went down 80, 90 feet, and now you got to start all over again, getting them back up to the surface. But Alan finally got him. I don't know who was tired, either the tuna or Alan, but we got him. We got him to the boat. And it was just one beautiful fish. Now it's time. But this is a tricky spot. Got to make sure you get him on that first gaff. If not, he's gone. And look at that. Great looking fish. Beautiful, great to eat. We're right here, one of the beaches just down the street from Nosada Paradise Rentals, which is where we love to stay. I got my good friend, Captain Alan Miller, that we all go to a lot of places together. And Alan, it's been a great trip. I mean, we're catching tuna, we caught, there's sailfish, there's big snapper.
Yes.
I mean, you can think about everything you want.
Yeah.
We've been catching, but now we're at the beach. It's only about 8-minute, 10-minute walk from the resort, and it's a world famous surfing beach, as you can tell. Most of them, the people here come here to surf. So, I mean, have you had a good time?
Oh, absolute awesome time. And I kind of hate to go home, but the hospitality out here has been awesome.
I mean, these people just
Very
bend over
welcoming.
backwards. I mean,
Yeah.
they treat you right, you know, and the pricing is very reasonable. A lot of places you go, I mean, it's crazy pricing. Over here, the food is great. It's price reasonable.
Yeah.
The other thing too is you've got so much nature, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, it's like yesterday we're sitting by the pool right after a little, one of their showers that came by after we came in from fishing. And here comes about a 5-foot iguana, walks out of the jungle, walks by our swimming pool, looks at us, stopped so we could take some pictures, went in the pool, took a little shower in the pool, went back out, stood there so we could take some more pictures, then walked back in the jungle. Where do you get that?
Yeah, photo op from an iguana.
Yep, for an iguana, that's right. So, I mean, I'm glad you were able to come along, and what we want to tell everybody is, we understand not everybody wants to fish all the time, but there's so much to do here.
Yeah.
It's not just fishing. You got surfing, you got a beach.
It's horseback riding.
Horseback riding, and I mean, the horseback riding here is not what you typically think of a tourist horseback riding trip. They actually take you into the jungle, into the mountains where we see those beautiful waterfalls.
Yeah.
You get some fantastic shots of the waterfalls and you're on the horse. Then they take you to their little farm up in the middle of nowhere and they feed you.
Yeah.
And I know you like organic food.
Oh, yes,
you got
I do.
Real chicken, no artificial stuff on them. I mean, everything you have is the pineapple from their trees. Even the coffee we had, the coffee came from their own coffee bean plants. So, I mean, it's just a great place to be. It's Nosadas, you know, Paradise Rentals. And again, the reason we like it here is they offer the fishing.
Yeah.
They're close to the beach, close to a bunch of little restaurants. And we don't like to eat at fancy places. When we go to an area, we want to eat what the culture's got, right?
Yeah, eat what the people eat.
Eat what the people eat, and that's what we've been doing.
Yeah.
But no more tuna.
No, that's it.
We've eaten tuna till, the last time we've had sushi, we've had tuna, blackened, everything.
Grilled.
Now last night, I'd never eaten this way before. We had fried, you know, breaded tuna fingers, and it was great. I mean, I never had that before. So it's a little bit of everything here.
Hey, come out here, you learn too.
Yeah. So come down here and join us. Have a good time with us, and I hope you enjoy the show. Now here's where all that hard work starts to pay off. Remember earlier in the day, the first mate was rigging all these ballyhoos. So we were gonna go trolling for sailfish in the afternoon. And so it's good to have them ready. On this particular trip, we did something, according to the captain, that only happens about once a year. And we were very lucky. We actually were able to hook 2 sailfish at the same time, and we landed both sailfish at the same time. I'm on one side of the boat. I got one of my clients on the other side, and he's fighting his fish. And normally they wind up either cutting the line, letting one fish go so they don't get tangled up, and you lose both of them. But in our case, I think the fish knew they were going to be on television, so they decided to stay away from each other, and we got them. We fought them, and were able to get them to the boat. Both fish, and remember, sailfish in Costa Rica are different from the ones we catch around Florida. These fish are on steroids, especially we're fishing out of the Pacific side. These fish will run 110, 130 pounds, where normally in Florida, our sailfish are 60 to 70 pounds. These things are very big fish, and they're good fighters. And like I said, sometimes you can go all day, never get a bite. Sometimes you get 2, 3 sailfish landed by the end of the day. But when you can go out and hook 2 at the same time, fight them both at the same time, and bring them to the boat so we could take pictures of them, this is quite an accomplishment according to the captain. And I guess we did our job, and he did his job, and the fish did their job because they stayed away from each other, so they both can come out on the video. And again, they will pull. And if you notice, sometimes we use a spinning rod, some of them we use a conventional. It all depends, but they're just beautiful fish, good jumpers, and it takes a lot of line. You better have 5, 6, 7, 800 yards of line on that reel because you're going to need it. And as you can tell, the captain does a great job the way he keeps the boat in control so we don't run over each other. And now it's just a wait and see, take your time, try to get them close to the boat without them crossing lines, because if they do cross lines, you've had it. You're going to have to cut one of them off or you're going to lose them both. But we were lucky. Like I said, here again, we were able to fight both fish and bring them both to the boat, and I think everybody was happy that day. And by the way, we did get to eat some good tuna that night from the ones we caught earlier in the day. But here they are, they're jumping, and they're just beautiful fish. Just look at that. And not a beautiful sight. Exciting, man. This is something that it should be in everybody's bucket list, to go out and do this. Get cubeta, snapper, big fish at night, in the morning, and then come back in the afternoon and catch sailfish in the afternoon. What a way to end the day with a double hitter on sailfish, and earlier in the day we had those cubeta, snappers, and tunas. So, I mean, this is all Costa Rica is all about. Where can you do that? There ain't very many places, I can tell you. And I tell you, they have great mates. They know what they're doing. A lot of these guys are really young too. One of the kids that was on one of the boats, I think he was only like 14, 15 years old. And he decided he wanted to be a first mate and become a captain. So he started early at a real young age so he can learn everything. But here they are, look at that, beautiful. And look how big they are. These things are huge compared to our sailfish in Florida. These things are big. I mean, I'm talking about from the tip of the nose to the end of the tail, about 9 footers or 6 footers or bigger.